Coming to you from 8122 Production Studios in the heart of the 607, this is Horror Zone 607. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And remember, you can always join the conversation using hashtag HZ607. Welcome back to the Zone. So before the break, we dropped a little hint as to what we were going to be talking about. It wasn't even a hint. We just came right out and said what we were going to be talking about in this next segment. We're going to be talking some horror, which we love to do on this show, as you all know. And this weekend, I actually got to, for the first time since we became partners here and became a show, the three of us actually went to the movies together, and we did get to see Annabelle Comes Home.
Yay, maybe.
Yeah. So, as everybody knows, it's the third Annabelle movie, and it is the seventh movie in the Conjuring universe.
I was going to say better known as Conjuring 2.5.
Yeah.
Because it kind of was the Conjuring 2.5.
Yeah, it had a lot of the charm of the Conjuring movies.
I don't know if it was.
We call it
the charm because no, it wasn't as good as a Conjuring movie.
No, it wasn't.
But I would say that it had the actors from the Conjuring movies.
It had the actors. There were little nuances.
Had a lot of Ed and Lorraine in it, and then most of the main character being the daughter, the babysitter, and the babysitter's friend, and of course the love interest of the babysitter.
Yes.
Which was also, so they were the main cast, but it did have to deal with the Warrens because it was their daughter after all.
Right. So the Warrens, and this is where, it really tied into the Conjuring universe, but also felt like a Conjuring light movie because Ed and Lorraine are in the beginning and in the end of the movie. The meat and potatoes, they're not in there. It's their daughter,
Judy.
Their house. It's in their house the entire time, and I'm going to talk more about that because the house kind of, to me, felt like a character in the movie a bit. Mm-hmm. A very claustrophobic feel to it. It did deal with Judy, as Rich just mentioned, their daughter. She was recast for this movie. McKenna Grace, who's kind of making her presence known in the horror genre. More recently, she's been in a couple of different things. One, she played the child version of one of the characters in The Haunting of Hill House. Mm-hmm. But she's kind of getting her name out there, so they recast her. But it does deal with her babysitter, Mary Ellen, and her friend, Daniela.
Yes.
And the love interest was Bob, who was didn't really have a whole lot of...
Bob's got balls.
Yeah. That's the running joke in the whole movie.
Bob's got balls.
He really just kind of served as comic relief. Didn't really add a whole lot to the movie.
Yeah, he did. He was a hero for the day for a minute.
For a second,
Well, we won't too spoil that, but Bob has balls.
Bob has balls.
That's all you need to know, folks. And it's the running joke of the movie, but Bob has balls. It follows them, and of course, it follows the fact that some damn snooping teen goes ahead and unleashes. Or technically just lets out Annabelle, which causes a mass I want to say carnage. Hysteria, pretty much. Because Annabelle is a beacon for other demons and other possessed objects. So therefore, all these things are feeding off of the fact that Annabelle's letting them come out and play, if you will.
Right.
Like the ringleader.
Right. And basically, here's what I liked about the movie. I liked the way it started. The first half of the film, you're going to hear me say this a lot in both my review that's coming up here soon that should be up this afternoon. Sometime before you hear this podcast, actually. But the first half of the movie I found to be very good. It was a slow burn. But I had a lot of character development, I felt. I liked the way that they built up the Judy character, who you didn't really get to know much in the two Conjuring movies. She was there. She had a couple of moments, but you didn't really get to know her. You got to know her. You got to know her babysitter. You got to know the babysitter's friend. So there was a lot of suspense, a lot of teases that there was going to be things, but there was suspense. There was a lot of atmosphere that I liked.
The first half of the movie, absolutely.
Right. Unfortunately... It's once Annabelle gets released from her glass case, on paper it sounds like a good idea. You basically have Night at the Museum meets horror. Unfortunately, it was not executed very well.
No. First of all, there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So this movie is an Annabelle movie in name,
Right.
an Annabelle movie in basically the fact that the only part Annabelle truly has in the movie is being a beacon to other demons and being let out of her cage. So that way caged case, same difference,
Same thing.
So that way she can, call to all of them, because most of the movie takes place talking about other possessed items and other demons in this world, i.e. this was a heavy advertisement for Ferryman, which is a rumored spin-off, the next rumored spin-off for the Conjuring universe. And man, this was a heavy commercial for that, because Ferryman has more to do with this movie, I would say, than Annabelle does.
Yeah, Ferryman, as well as I don't know what we're calling it, the white dress, the white wedding dress.
Yeah, the white wedding dress, I think, is what they were calling it.
So those are the two things. I mean, you basically, as everybody knows from watching the Conjuring movies, Ed and Lorraine, every case that they go to, there's some object that seems to be the center of the evil that's going on. So they always take an artifact from their case, they bring it home, they place it in this room within their home, their artifact room. They bless it, and
once a week.
Once a week.
Gets blessed once a week. And,
right.
And in the case of Annabelle, she gets put into a case that is made out of glass from a cathedral,
right.
and is blessed separately, because that's how evil Annabelle is.
Right.
So, and like I said, we find out that she's a beacon for spirits.
Right. And because of that beacon for other spirits, she basically sets the evil from every object free. But it's those two, you'll see it when you watch it. We don't want to give too much away,
right.
But it's those two objects that are prominent more than the others.
Yeah, they're pretty much like the most advertised. There is also, there's about 5 or 6.
Yeah, there was like a really samurai.
In the forefront. The samurai thing is out in the forefront.
Samurai armor,
the book, the bracelet.
Yeah, a television that was kind of cool.
The television was kind of cool. I'd like to know more about the phone and the television, which both of them, the television plays a little more of a role, but there's a phone as well, and there's something in that story that I want to find out. Like, those were the ones that I was more interested in, and even though, like I said, this movie was definitely selling you on Ferryman. Let's be honest. Like, it was just basically a commercial for Ferryman. I'm sorry to throw it out there. The first half of this movie, there was great atmosphere, there was great suspense, there was great revealing and stuff of the characters.
Right.
The second half of this movie is just like, okay, well, I just saw a killer doll movie last week that was super entertaining and a lot of fun and a lot better.
Right.
So now, I think Annabelle, for me, suffers now because they didn't execute well. Plus, I got to something to compare it to a week prior.
Right. But, I mean, it was just, there was too much kind of going on all at once, but at the same time, it was over the top, which is coming from, we're talking about coming off of a Chucky movie, a killer doll movie. This was over the top, but Annabelle really wasn't around. Like, she just kind of would show up, from time to time for like a jump scare.
Yeah, pretty much. And once again, that was going to bring me my point. There was no payoff.
Yeah, there was no payoff.
Zero payoff.
No payoff.
There was like a couple jump scares. That was it. Like I can't give it away, but there's in the third act. There's only one real kind of like conflict that happens, and it takes like what, couple minutes, and that's it.
And that's it.
Other than that, it's kind of like spiritual, kind of crazy, too much stuff going on. You can't really keep track of what's going on. And I mean, yeah, you're on the edge of your seat, but once it's at first you are, but as it gets deeper and deeper into the third act, and there's just way too much stuff going on, I started to do the opposite. Like, instead of like the tension and everything being built up, there was just too much going on. So my body was like, okay, there's just way too much going on.
Right.
And there's no payoff to any of it.
There isn't. One of the points that I make in my review that you'll all be able to read, there was two big negative things that I took from this. One, this movie was clearly nothing more than using its predecessor as a cash grab. And a buddy of mine actually messaged me this afternoon. It made $76 million this weekend, I guess. So another massive opening. So you know that there's going to be more. Like we all doubted that.
There were only 6 of us.
Yeah. But, the other part of this, I find it kind of ironic that we're talking about a doll that's a conduit to evil. Well, this movie was a conduit to future spin-offs. That's all this was. As we mentioned, there's going to be a Ferryman movie. At least it's been rumored. There's probably going to be a woman in a white wedding dress. I mean, that's what this was. Yeah. Fact of the matter, that's what this was. So it looked good on paper, and it did have a great first half, but it really, really was not executed well or written very well. It was better than The Nun. but it still, it didn't have like the attempted jump scares like the Nun did. They were a little bit better, but and I didn't think there was many of them as people are saying. I've seen some reviews where it's jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. It's really heavy with that. It wasn't like that.
No. But I mean, it's Warehouse 13.
Yeah,
you remember from the side, which was really good. But
right.
But I mean, it was basically the same thing. Like it was just their museum of items, which were, if you ever watched all this sci-fi show Warehouse 13, like there was items in there that were cursed or not cursed and did things, based on the history of the item and stuff. And and they did the same thing, they just made it more of a comedy than horror. And this is just like trying to make the horror version, but like you said, it like without giving it away, the one girl's just like, I touched everything, like and then just like, oh great, here we go,
right.
So right now it looks like there's conflicting. So over at their box office Mojo is estimating the weekend for Annabelle Comes Home at 16 million.
Now what I read was what my friend said was that it was a worldwide.
Oh, this is saying, I don't know if this is worldwide or just here. It's saying over at Box Office Pro they went as high as 27 million. So
interesting. Maybe that's just here in the States. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Oh, wait a minute. So, I think it's just domestic.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I'd have a hard time believing that it made a shit ton of money overseas because this wouldn't even be showing in China.
Well, I'm actually looking on Wikipedia right now, which of course, I mean, anybody can change it, but it does. This is usually pretty accurate. It does say the worldwide box office right now through weekend one is 76.2 million. So maybe it really did do well in China or other countries.
I'm just saying, I don't think this would be even shown in China.
Right now, this is
maybe not. I don't know.
Right now,
those are the big markets,
IMDb only got it at 10 million.
Yeah, so there's well, once again, all these are projections because the real numbers don't come out till Monday.
Right.
So these are all projections. So I mean, it's being projected as low. I always go by domestic totals, anyways, because being in the States, I don't usually go by tons of worldwide totals. Unfortunately, sorry for our international listeners. I mean, I will give the worldwide total a lot of times after, but it's just kind of a domestic thing, kind of gauge where the perspective is. So this is really being gauged anywhere between 10 million and 27 million for an open.
Okay.
So we'll find out. I think it's somewhere in the middle. I bet you Box Office Mojo is probably the closest at 16 million because that seems to be in between.
Yeah, we'll find out because Bloody Disgusting is always right on top of that. I'll bet by Monday.
No, Monday is when they come out.
Yeah.
See, up until Monday, everything is just projected.
Right.
It doesn't mean anything.
Not in China at all.
This will be. Yeah, I was gonna say this is not a movie that'll open in China anyways.
Because there's nothing in China. Like there's only 33 or 35.
Not to mention,
gotcha.
Ever get opened up in the year?
I just know they're a big market for movies.
They're a big market, but they only allow 30 or 35 foreign films in a year.
Gotcha.
So movies that show Chinese helping and solving the situation, or the Chinese release has the extra scenes of China
or something
helping,
they like, i.e. big monsters are huge in China.
That's what they
Pacific
let come
Rim
in.
is huge.
Yeah. Gotcha. I just said it because I know it was a big market for worldwide total.
But they're weird on ghost stories and possessions over there, anyways. Like the Asian culture is really they're it's kind of taboo.
It
like that's why there's a lot. By the way, that's why there's a lot of Japanese like ghost story movies because it's kind of touches into a taboo thing where people get real freaked out about it.
Right.
But that's why something like this would read real bad to that market. I'm just saying because they're used to like some brutal stuff. Because think about some of the movies that we see from over there that we like that are like possession / haunted house movies.
Right.
Yeah. China's a really weird market, and that's why that's like Star Wars. Half the reason why Rose was created.
Pretty much. That was that was a big controversy. But going away from the numbers because we won't have them. We'll put them up on our Facebook and our Twitter because obviously you guys I'll be releasing this probably Monday morning, and then the numbers will come out. We'll release it. But right about now, we'll just say to be safe, I would say the average between the two, the low and the high, we're probably going to be right around the $16 million mark. Right around there domestically and worldwide. If it is at 76 million, that means it made it
other countries did really well
around the world. It just didn't make a killing in the States, which is fine. This movie I don't know. Well, let's just jump to the end.
I mean, one thing I will mention before I give the score, and one of the reasons I gave it even as high a score as I did give it, like I said, the beginning was great. The first half of the film was great. The second half, not so much. I did love the ending. The one thing that I have noticed in both of the other Conjuring movies, you have some very heartwarming moments with the Warrens.
You like
with
that
the
warm,
families.
happy ending,
It had a
don't
warm,
you?
happy. There's fuzzy feelings that they give you in those movies, and that happens with this one as well. I liked it. It had a good ending, for that. So what you basically had was a good start, a good finish, and a bunch of garbage sandwiched in between it. So I don't know. To me, I as a score for this movie, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. It wasn't Halloween 2018. It wasn't anything like that to me. I did give it a 5.5 out of 10.
Ooh, you're high, man. I came down.
It's slightly above average.
I came down. I'm slightly below average. I gave it a 4.
Okay.
I changed my mind. Originally, I was right around 5, and then after thinking about it, I'm like, it's a 4.
I'm still at 5.
You're still at 5?
I'm still at 5.
I'm at
So on average, it's about a 5 out of 10.
I'd watch it one more time if somebody else didn't see it. Like if below average to me would be like I wouldn't watch it again if somebody didn't.
But
right.
I will say this. My grade, because we were doing the grading scale, I graded at a C. So that means to watch it, just not to go to the theater. It's pretty much, hey, wait till it comes out for rent at, on Amazon or Redbox. I probably wouldn't buy it. If you do go to see it in the theater, it is on you. I mean, I did, but I definitely wouldn't, go back to see it again or own it.
No, I wouldn't either. I'd watch it again if it was on television, for free or something like that. Because I was mildly entertained by it, but I didn't see the previous 2 movies in theaters, the Annabelle movies in theaters. And I know a lot of people hated the first one. I dug the first one a lot. The second one was the one that made all the money, that everybody was critically acclaimed and this and that. And I thought that one, was kind of.
They both worldwide made over.
Right. They've all made big money, but the second one I thought was a bit overrated compared to the first one.
I haven't watched it.
I'm in the minority in how I feel about that. I thought that this one was the worst of the 3 movies.
I mean, to be honest, I do have to say this is not also my cup of tea. I'm not a big fan in the house possession kind of movies. I like the ones that are really good. So I'm a fan of The Exorcist and the Poltergeist of the world, and of course I do like the Conjuring movies, the 2 actual Conjuring movies.
I still gotta watch the second one.
But for the most part, unless you're on par with one of those, I'm not a big possession / haunted house guy because it just doesn't do it for me. Most of them are just cheap jump scares, and I mean that's just kind of my problem with that. But I did watch a second movie with you, Mike, on Saturday.
We did right after this.
Yes, right after. Well,
we had an intermission.
There was a little intermission. I got some food. Came to your house. We turned on the Shudder. And we watched a movie that came out this month on Shudder called Boar.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, by the way, not Boar, B-O-R-E, but Boar, B-O-A-R. And to bury the lead, because it doesn't matter, it's about a giant boar. And they're not lying. It's a giant boar.
It's a giant boar.
It's taking out cars. It's taking out people. It's eating people whole. It's crazy. It's a big boar.
It was something.
It's an Australian.
I haven't been the same since.
I was going to say, it was an Australian movie. The detraction right off the top is half the cast has Australian accents, half the cast does not. They do explain why Bill Moseley doesn't have one because he is an American who is dating an Australian. So Bill Moseley is in it as the boyfriend. Also, the killer from Wolf Creek,
is John Jarrett
is in this movie. And he's actually really good. Also, by the way, my favorite person in the movie, Nathan Jones. Yes, Nathan Jones of former WWE fame is in this movie. The Beast of Bago Road is one of the main protagonists in this movie.
Yes.
It's pretty awesome.
He was actually, I didn't think that he was going to have as good a character as he did.
Best moment, by the way, and I don't care, this will be a spoiler, best moment in the movie is when he is rapping along to Ice Ice Baby in the car.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a scene where Nathan Jones raps along to Ice Ice Baby.
Yes.
And that right there makes this why you should watch this movie.
Yeah, as soon as the music started playing, you're like, oh my God.
If he starts rapping,
oh my God.
The most epic moment. I even tweeted about it.
And then he did.
And he did. But the movie as a whole, at first, it kind of gives you that feel that's going to be like a real chintzy, cheap sci-fi movie made for Sci-Fi
Network, yeah.
But then, real quick, you've discovered that it's not. The actual makeup effects are really good.
Yeah.
They do a lot of practical makeup, a lot of practical
Yeah, it wasn't full of CGI like a sci-fi movie would be.
So it looked good. And trust me, some of the wounds from when the boar is attacking people and such look phenomenal. I mean, there is a scene in the movie where somebody does get a tusk through the mouth, if you will.
The hard way.
Yeah, and trust me, you will allow to watch this. The makeup is great. The story.
Yeah, it's what you would expect from a movie called Boar.
The story's not great. The plotline's not great. Characters not great. I don't think there was any character development to be spoken of, but the kills and the the dialogue that I'm not sure. At times, I think it's supposed to be funny, and it is funny. And at times, I think it's supposed to be serious, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
That is great. I enjoyed that immensely. I do enjoy the Nathan Jones character in the movie, and he's got a fight scene with a boar. That's pretty epic. There's definitely redeeming qualities. Movie was good overall, in my opinion. Like I said, if you're watching it for story, you're watching the wrong movie.
Right.
If you're watching it for character development, you're watching the wrong movie. But if you're watching it just to have fun on an afternoon on Shudder, it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
There was cool makeup effects, cool kills, and if they're just happy about that, you're good. As a whole, I would give this piece of work a 4.5. It slightly itches out Annabelle. I said it before, and also I would actually give it like a C+ as far as entertainment, because it is entertaining.
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining.
And because it's a made for Shudder, if you're paying for Shudder already, which is not that expensive, it's a definitely must watch. Definitely watch it because it's there, and you're already paying for it. Trust me, it's a good movie as far as that goes. It's not, like I said, if you're looking for story, don't watch it. If you're looking for character development, don't watch it. But if you want to see cool makeup effects, some pretty brutal stuff with a boar, it's pretty good. Then it's good.
Yeah.
And also some really funny dialogue that were, some of it I'm sure was on purpose, and some of it not so much.
Yeah.
Especially like the old guy hitting on that younger chick in the bar.
That did happen.
That was interesting.
That was probably the best dialogue in the whole film.
It was probably the best dialogue.
I remember sitting there watching that scene, like, what is the point of this? And then you get the punchline to it. But yeah.
So I mean, overall, that's where I put it. Where you got it, Mike?
I gave Annabelle a 5.5 out of 10. I'd have to give this one maybe a 5 out of 10, probably
That's
on par.
Fine. You're going right
middle of the road,
going right underneath it. It was, like I said, I once again, it's not a great movie. I'm really hard on things, and I'll penalize it for stuff. But was it an entertaining watch? Yeah, I would like I said, I would bump it up to like a C+, a B.
Right.
Just to watch it. It's a good movie. It's fun. That's it. Entertainment wise, I was there. That's why I'll give it a higher. Same thing I did with Child's Play. I actually gave Child's Play an A of a grade, but I gave it like, what was it? I think it was a 6.5 that I ended up on. 6.5. But once again, sometimes movies are more entertaining than just taking away for a grade. Like I have to punish something for not having a storyline and for not whatever, but damn it, I have to also give it credit for being entertaining and watching some of the kills in that movie and some of the happenings in the movie. You're like, and the fact the makeup effects were great. Like seeing that good practical makeup effects made me happy. I don't like a lot of CGI. I'm old school with that.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a CGI fest.
Oh, and it wasn't. It was practical. Like even the boar is not CGI. The boar
that was some kind of a mechanical.
It was a
puppet.
mechanical because like when they're fighting with it, you can see that it's moving.
Yeah,
so it's a puppet. I mean, I think some of the like side shots were CGI.
Yeah,
but like as far as like close hand-to-hand combat, if you will, with this thing, it was all puppet.
Right.
And they made it that much better.
Yeah, and let's not forget that there was a dog named Whiskey somewhere.
Yes, the dog named Whiskey, well,
somewhere.
Allegedly it meets its demise because we never see Whiskey.
No.
We hear Whiskey.
But
we never see Whiskey.
No. Poor little guy.
And it leads to somebody else's demise as well.
Yes.
There's a lot of demise in this movie.
Yeah, nobody was spared from this thing.
Including Bill Moseley. I don't care. That's the spoiler I'll tell because we got to argue it out, Mike. Bill Moseley is dead.
No, he's coming back. If there's a sequel, and there will be a sequel, Bill Moseley will return. Same character.
Halfway through the movie.
Giant spoiler alert. If he does return, he has no head.
I think he's going to put some dirt on it and he's going to get up and walk off.
It's merely a flesh wound.
That's what he kept saying. That's what he kept saying the whole movie.
Merely a flesh wound.
Get back, yeah. And the people who challenge this thing, the one thing you got to take off is like everybody who fights the boar tries to punch it. I don't get that.
Yeah.
It's like punching it in the nose.
Yeah.
You're like, this thing is massive. Like it's like the size of a car.
That's what they tell you to do with sharks. So
yeah, but that doesn't work for a boar
I'm just saying,
the size of a car.
Then people get weird. They just start remembering, like...
The only person, by the way...
Did one person just randomly stop, drop, and play dead?
No.
See, that's what you need to do.
But the best part about it is, like, the only person that was, like, believable that could take on the boar was Nathan Jones.
Yeah, he was about the same size.
Like, he's about the same... Yeah, he's massive. He's a massive human being. So watching him, like, beat up on him, you're like, if anybody's going to do that... if anybody's got a chance to knock this son of a bitch out, it's probably Nathan Jones.
Right. So I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. Whatever you think. Whatever you think.
So,
I'll go with what you say.
So we got a couple reviews in there. We got some news ski in there. So I guess the overall takeaway, if you want to put it into the review thing, is go ahead and watch Annabelle. I was a little down on it. These guys were still in the middle of the road, but still go ahead and watch it. I would say wait until it's streaming or on DVD from the Red Box. I don't think you should run out to the theater to see it. That's just my opinion. I think, can we agree on that at least?
Yeah.
If you do see it, if you do want it, if you are bored and you have a cheap day, matinee day, like we kind of do here in this area, then go ahead and see it in the theater, I guess, if you got nothing better going on.
Right.
So I'd say that. But of course, Spider-Man Far From Home comes out this week, so probably better suited to spend your money on that than Annabelle.
Right.
As far as Boar goes, once again, it's another reason Shudder has been very good to me since I've had it. I enjoy it. It is cheaper to have. I do believe it's only like $4.99 or $5.99 a month. It's fun. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. There's a lot of legendary movies. We talked about it last week. There's a lot of legendary movies. There's a lot of these original movies. Boar, from that perspective, is a must watch. If you do have Shudder, watch Boar. Just because you already have it going on. Mike's choking on water. I thought we had to give him a Heimlich there for a minute.
Yeah, it went down the wrong pipe.
We're waterboarding Mike over here.
Oh man! So I would say if you have Shudder, watch Boar on Shudder. I don't think it's available anywhere else. I don't know if you can buy it or not.
I think it was a Shudder original,
Shudder exclusive, original
or something.
Yeah. So just if you have Shudder, definitely check it out because it's worth a watch. It's fun. Like I said, no storyline or anything to be heard of, but it's fun.
Hey, if it gets enough downloads or enough streaming from the Shudder, you'll see it at Target at some point.
I think it was part. Actually, I think it was part of Fright Fest because the one advertisement had Fright Fest in the corner. But
gotcha.
So yeah, it's I would say watch it because if you have Shudder already, you're already paying for the service. Just watch it because it's actually good. It's a good watch. I was happy with it at least.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on there too. I haven't had it up to this point, and now I do. And some things I've really wanted to see, like Summer of '84.
Which
finally
we'll
got
be
to watch
talking about
it
next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk about that.
We did. I still have to watch it. We were talking about it. We already did 2 reviews. So next week, there's let it cat out of the bag. So when you hear us next, Summer of '84 will be our week review.
And some other things on there too, like You Might Be the Killer. I think
is
what
You Might
it's
Be
called.
the Killer.
I've been dying to
watch.
see that. Another good, highly recommended horror comedy.
I know it's bad, but I still get to see the Critters series. I know it's bad. I don't care. I'm going to watch it. Creep Show, of course, comes out soon.
Yeah.
They've already got the placeholder for it, so Creep Show comes out soon. And there's a ton of other stuff on there. I mean, Mike won't be watching The Exorcist, but The Exorcist is on there.
No, I've seen it once. I've seen it enough times.
Amongst other things, there's a ton of stuff on there. It's actually a worthwhile buy if you're a horror fan, so I would, once again, they don't pay us. If they want to, I'd be all about it. Or even if they just want to give me my subscription for free, that'd be great too. So if you're listening, guys.
The owners like us.
Or here's the thing, if you're listening, guys, we would love to be a podcast on your service, because they have podcasts on Shudder. So if you guys want us to be your official podcast, just reach out because we're all about that.
Absolutely,
I'll take that job because it's fun. I'd put over everything because it's good stuff.
Sure.
So overall, I would say they were there. Let's wrap it up because I think that's enough for this week. So let's jump into my little stuff before I let you say goodbye, Mike. So if you want to talk about the movies we reviewed and how you felt about them, if you've seen either one of them, or if you're going to, go ahead, reach out to us. The best way to do that, of course, Facebook, Horror Zone 607. Like the page, share the page, rate and review the page. Help us out there. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Horror Zone 607 to join our conversation because we want to hear from you. Always use the hashtag HZ607 on all of our social medias because, hey, like I said, we want to hear from you. We keep beating the dead horse. And you know what? We've had more interactions lately, so I hope that continues on. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Horror Zone 607 on YouTube. There will be more stuff up. And like I said, this week is probably the best week for me to get some stuff up there in the news since there's going to be an extended period of time off. So I'm just probably going to do something and play with some stuff. And things will get better as they go along anyways. But you know what? Hey, be there on the ground floor. Help us out there as well. Also, 8122productions.com where you can stream and download all of our shows. Plus, you can check out Mike's review, his written review of Annabelle Comes Home. That is up right now. If you go to 8122productions.com, go to HZ607 articles. It is right there. Read his other reviews that are on there. Also, you can visit the 3 Fat Nerds. You can visit 3FN Wrestling. You can also visit and check out our sponsor pages, which include Sci-Fi Horror Fest.
Yes.
We'll be a part of that October 4th and 5th in Oneonta, New York. So check that out.
Getting excited for that.
Man, we get to see Courtney Gaines again.
We're going to take him out for a beer.
We should. Maybe he'll join us for the 8122 Productions dinner at Brooks Brothers Barbecue.
I sure hope so.
Maybe. That'd be cool. Go out and hang out with Courtney Gaines for a while. Anyways, there's a lot of great guests there. Not going to go too much in depth to it. You can go ahead. You can go to if you go to friends of the show or the sponsors of the show, you can actually click on there and it will take you to their website. If not, the website is sci-fi-horrorfest.com. You can get your tickets now. If you buy your tickets now for both Friday and Saturday, it is a low price of $10. Not a day. $10 for both days.
Wow.
So good savings there. That's a
Wowie
steal.
zowie.
Yeah, yowie wowie.
Yowie wowie.
It's yowie wowie, sir.
It's wowie zowie also.
So, and there's so much really awesome stuff there. I mean, there's paranormal investigators there. Of course, the heartthrob of the paranormal investigating world, Dustin Pear, is going to be there. That's what I've been told.
I thought you meant Ron.
You
pointed at Ron when you said it.
Ron's also going to be there.
He is a heartthrob. And he's single, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
As a member of the Three Fat Nerds.
Unless you met somebody since last week.
As a member of Three Fat Nerds, we are actually the sponsors of Media Alley for Sci-Fi Horror Fest. So it's exciting, and Horror Zone 607 will be in the mix of it. Woohoo!
Can't wait.
We got a bunch of stuff planned for that. So come check us out, come hang out with us, and also have some real good fun at a con. I just wanted to touch on that, and I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks, Rich, and thank you guys for downloading the show and listening every single week, and once again this week. I hope everybody has a safe and happy 4th of July, and don't forget to get on Netflix and watch Stranger Things Season 3 so you can keep up with us when we talk about that over the coming weeks. But, again, thank you for listening, and we will be back at it in the studio next week with more of the biggest horror movie news and talking a lot of horror. So you guys have a great week. Thanks for listening.